Alrighty guys, we should be live now. Hello, how's it going everyone? My name is Mitchell Mander and welcome to my live stream. The Pokemon Horizons live stream. Today we're going to be talking about episode 103 of Pokemon Horizons. The Iono and Dot collab that, or should I say Nidothing collab that we've all been waiting for. Also, Zirc gets some focus in this episode. So how is this episode overall? Well, before we get to that, just to kind of give you guys, especially the new people here that show up and kind of just either see this stream, post-stream when it's just a video. If you're kind of viewing this for the first time, usually what we do here is I give it about 5 minutes for people to show up. 5 to 10 minutes, depending. Then after that, I go ahead and give like a brief summary of the episode, give my thoughts, assign a rating to the episode. Then I hand it over to the chat, and then we kind of go on for roughly an hour, hour and a half. Typically, that's like the typical range for these streams. Sometimes shorter, sometimes longer, but my typical range is between an hour, hour and a half. I don't want to really go past that. Yeah, so that's what we do here. Another thing to kind of note is the music you hear in the background comes from a separate stream, the Video Game Study Lounge from Game Chops. It is basically lo-fi remixes of video game music that play on it, along with some originals here and there. Typically you'll hear stuff from Zelda, which is what's playing right now, Pokemon, Mario, Final Fantasy, various different game series are featured on the channel, so you should check it out sometime. It's cool stuff. Anyways, let's see who's all here. It looks like we got Sharon. Hello. Pokefan. Have things to say about episode 104, I see. Yep. Hello. 103 was generally just boring, and I'll talk about that in a moment. This episode was 7 out of 10 for me. Harlster, yo, what's up? Between a 5 and 6. Yep. A filler episode. I wouldn't call this a filler episode, though, because technically it leads into the very next episode, so you can't really say it's filler. It feels like it, but it's not. I quite like this episode. It was just a nice, fun slice of life episode. Gotcha. Not like it was horrible, but it was a bit lacking. Gotcha. I came into this expecting nothing crazy and was quite satisfied with it. Gotcha. 7 out of 10. 104 is going to be the definition of peak. Hopefully it holds true. Anyway, how's everyone's day been going? It's been going pretty good. I'm just chilling. Relaxing before I head out and do stuff with family in a little bit. Hey, look at that. We got a Pokemon lo-fi remix right here. Azalea Town. "104, we'll have more things to talk about." Yep, and we'll do that later on. Gotta talk about the episode at hand first. Good, I suppose. Read the new Spike's Family chapter earlier. Been chilling. Yep. I need to catch up. We got a cameo from that Litton Nidothing fan as well. Yep. Not really too big, but yep. She was there. Yep. Seeing Grusha was nice. Yep. Although it wasn't really too big of a deal. I'll get on with that in a moment. Oh, by the way, if you are joining the stream, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button if you haven't already. It definitely helps spread the word of the channel and get more people up in here. And also vote in the poll if you haven't to let me know what you thought about this episode. There's 6 votes, and right now 6-5 is currently leading. Like, I like to imagine Zirc having nightmares about having his dreams and hopes crushed by learning Nidothing's identity. Yep. I was thinking that too. Yes, I know, Sharon. You already said that. Like, bro was genuinely confused. Yep. Highlight of the episode for with Zirc, and then followed by Dot and Nico. Yep. Anyways, guys, we're I'm gonna pause reading the chat right there. I'm gonna go ahead and give my summary of this episode. It's gonna be kind of quick because it's not like a super important episode. It's kind of more of a silly episode, honestly. In order to raise more funds for the Rideable Tacklers, Dot decided to do a collab event with Iono, so Nidothing Iono collab. And they're hosting it live in Levincia. And there's like a meet and greet thing that they're doing. And I like how, despite the fact that Liko knows Nidothing's identity, she's just like geeking over it. Like, oh, I could possibly shake Nidothing's hand or possibly hug her? Oh my gosh! Despite the fact that she literally hangs out with her all the time. But anyways, meanwhile, Zirc and Konia, they haven't had any luck finding a Methio, but it's the days coming up for the Nidothing Dot collab, so Zirc is a big fan of Nidothing, so he wants to go and meet them. So he gets a ticket, Liko gets a ticket, and then Grusha happens to be there and is actually a fan of Iono, apparently, so that's kind of neat. But anyways, he gets maybe a little too loose with his ticket, holds it up in the air and it gets blown away and then falls into the sewers, so he assumes that it's gone. Meanwhile, Liko and the others end up running into them. At first, there's a little slight confrontation because they are part of the Explorers, but then again, at the same time, they kind of, aren't really affiliated with, like, Spinel and his group, so, they're not really enemies at this point, so, they explain that, the situation. I like how, like, Liko and Zirc are, like, geeking out over their, like, usernames. They're like, oh, you're, like, the super, like, what is it, Super Spreadito fan or whatever? Oh, you're, like, whatever his nickname is, Sidon, or not, I don't know. Something has to do with Rhydon. But, anyways, so they agree to help out and find this ticket. They note that it probably didn't exactly go in the water, maybe. It maybe drifted down that way, so they go out looking at the sea, trying to find it. They're having no luck. Dot's kind of postponing her rehearsal with Iono and eventually has to leave. Another thing that's noteworthy is that Alt's not really present in this episode. He kind of hangs back and is only present at the beginning, so don't have to deal with Alt shenanigans in this episode. But anyways, after Dot leaves, they end up running into a rogue trio that actually happens to have the ticket. And then they end up battling it. They struggle actually quite a bit against this thing. But anyways, Rhydon eventually is successful in getting the ticket. It gets stuck to its horn. Anyways, they end up going to the event. They're having a good time. I thought the moment where Zirc and Rhydon actually got on stage was kind of just funny, but also weird because it's like he's sitting up there. He's like, I'm dancing with them. And then Rhydon's in love with Nidothing apparently because he thinks it's actually a Pokemon and it's actually Nidorina and not, someone in a costume, so I thought that was kind of funny. But then after they do their event and all that stuff, there was a nice moment where Grusha actually, after meeting up with Iono, Konia actually walks up to Grusha and is like, oh, I'm a big fan, can I shake your hand? I don't know, I thought it was kind of a nice moment there, but anyways, after the event happened, they're kind of going back to go and get Dot. And Zirc actually happens to see them. He's like, I gotta thank them, and actually ends up finding out that Dot is actually Nidothing, and they are just devastated at first. But then Dot puts the costume back on, and immediately Liko and Zirc are just fangirling and fanboying over Nidothing. But anyways, they end up actually taking Liko aside and like, hey, we need your help. We can't find a Methio, so would you be able to help us out? And that's pretty much where the episode comes to an end with Zirc and Konia asking for Liko's assistance in finding a Methio. So overall, this episode, it's an alright episode. It is an entertaining episode. It is kind of a silly episode. I do like the fact that Zirc got some like focus, not like into like his background or anything. He just showed a lot more character in this episode. You know, kind of like way back in like episode 3 when Konya had her like moments in that episode. Kind of got that with Zirc in this episode, which or Zirc, however you want to say his name. Yeah, I do like that. But, like, you know, obviously this episode, it's not, like, a super important episode. It's not a filler episode, but, like, you know, when it comes to, like, you know, I guess episodes to kind of, like, look at, like, if you're looking at the series as a whole, this is an episode that's not going to stick out, really. It's an alright episode, in my opinion. I'd probably say I'd give this episode a 6, personally. It's kind of what I'm personally feeling. Not my favorite episode in the series, but it leads into what could be a really good episode, as we are going to be seeing a Methio in the next episode. I like how they recruit Liko and they immediately find Methio. I think it was kind of funny because like at the beginning of the episode they were kind of clueless. They're like, we've looked everywhere, you know. And then it's funny because like they meet up with the kids and they find that ticket, so it's almost like, hey, we probably could use these kids' help because they helped us out with this, so why not help us out in finding a Methio, which I thought was kind of neat. I'm trying to think, where was I going with this? I'm kind of curious because it looks like Liko is the only one that's present in the preview, so I'm wondering if like it's only Liko that's going with Zirc and Konya, which I kind of find that to be interesting. I guess she's the only one that really has a connection with a Methio, so I guess it makes sense, but I feel like the other kids should be there at least to help out. Anyways, let's get caught back up on the chat, so let's see if we can get caught up today. Let's see, where did I last leave off at? Okay, seeing Grusha was nice. Yep, I like to imagine Zirc having nightmares about having his dream. Okay, I already read that. Where did I leave off at again? Okay, yep, this is where we're at. 6.5 out of 10. What's up, Miraculous Holders 365? How's it going? This episode was funny, but the last part moves it up from a 5 or 6. Gotcha. Also, can I just say, why is Konya's Golduck actually useless? It just sucks. I don't know. It lost in an off-screen battle against Liko earlier on. So, yeah, kind of not really that useful at all. What confuses me is how Liko was all like, this is my chance to meet Nidothing and get a handshake, hug. And I'm like, bruh, Liko, just ask Dot to suit up and then give you one, right? Konya's Golduck is just weak. Yep. Well, I just think it's funny because it's just like, she gets into that fangirl mode and her brain just shuts off, which I think is funny. Not gonna lie, that Wugtrio was an absolute strong. I know. It was strong. Someone could have caught it, but they didn't. Oof. Oh, another thing to mention this episode is Gimmighoul was taking advantage of the crowd and gathering up some coins. Looks like it's getting more and more coins. It might be that might be its gag for a little bit, is that while they're out doing stuff, it might be on the side like getting coins so it eventually evolves, so something to kind of look out for. Like, holy cow, imagine if someone caught that thing, right? But Pokemon, she is the true Nidothing fan. She doesn't want the illusion to be shattered and doesn't want any shortcuts, even if she's friends with Nidothing, right? That Wugtrio was overpowered. Not that I wanted that, obviously. I was just saying it would have been some power creep, right? Yeah, true. Maybe Konya should have caught the Wugtrio. Maybe she'd have a useful water type, right? Bro legit was all, Nidothing sucks. And Dot was about to commit a crime. Oh, Alt? Yeah. Yeah, he was like I remember that part in the episode. Like Dot was about to say something. Liko the one that piped him down. I thought was funny. Semi-jokes aside, would have been nice for Zirc to actually catch it. Imagine the Wugtrio was actually a fan of Nidothing. Right. That would have been cool. Zirc was a Nidothing fan, yep. Yeah. Oh, jeez Louise, I lost my place. Thanks, YouTube. Oh, here we are. Yeah, the Rhydon thing concerns me because I saw that and I'm like, Rhydon, you and Nidorina aren't in the same egg group. Oof. Yeah. Oh, that was about to be an issue. Nice to see Zirc not just be a serious underling and more of his childish side. Yeah, we got a little bit more of a personality with the guy, which I think is nice. Because we didn't really get that before. We had that with Konya before, but not Zirc. Won't lie, I find a little weird. We didn't see the other Mons helping to find the ticket. Kilo can fly, and Charcadet could have been used in the Battle Wugtrio since it likes fighting stronger foes. True, but it's also getting its focus in the next episode, so maybe they're saving it for that, right? Who knew all they need to find Amethea was a child, right? The one that helped them get a ticket. That's all they needed. Do you think Iono knows Dot is Nidothing? Yeah. Not the cube tied to a legendary Pokemon of nature and balance. Oh, she knows. Why else would they talk about streaming? Yep. I don't definitely know she's been talking to Dot and she's not in the Nidothing costume. Yeah, I was going to say, that's pretty much been known since Iono has been introduced to the series. Moral of the story is, if you can find someone you care about, kidnap an important child, then you'll find them soon. Yep. Sorry, wrong word, not kidnap. Oof. Ask an important child for help. Yep, one that happens to be connected to a certain legendary explorer. I was getting mixed up when they were trying to kidnap her earlier in the series, right? Yeah, you guys totally tried to kidnap me, but let's be friends. Liko installed a tracking chip on Amethea during the cave episode, and that's how she found him. Ooh boy. Yeah, Alt. I think Charcadet will get a couple new moves in the next episode. Not a couple new moves, maybe we'll just learn what else it's got in its arsenal that hasn't been showcased. Liko installed a tracking chip on Amethea. That's what a Pokefan just said. But yeah, like when it comes to this episode, obviously there really isn't much to talk about. It's just talking about the episode and kind of what happened there. It had funny moments, but I think the thing that people are more so talking about is the preview for episode 104, which won't be out until next month, August 1st. Got another break coming up this week. Oh well. Didn't know Liko had it in her to install tracking chip DLC. Must have been a payback for them putting a tracker on the ship. Something like that. I think 104 will be setting up an arc for Charcadet for its evolution later. Yeah, probably. We'll learn what its wish is. Here's a fun fact. The beach Amethea is on is called the Secluded Beach in game. And all they had to do was just go to the one beach that he went to as a kid. Hey, look at that, guys. Another Pokemon Lo-Fi remix. And again, that's from Johto. Speaking of Charcadet and evolving, there's so many people who keep saying that it's gonna become a Cerulege. Makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, they're not gonna do that because we've already got Cerulege representation in the series. And if they're gonna represent, other Pokemon, then the best way, to showcase, its evolution line is to have it evolve into Armarouge. So. I'll say I like Gimmighoul in the episode. Glad they say they're keeping the consistency of his mischievous nature. I like how, the kids don't even know it's on the ship and it's just kind of going out and doing its own thing. I think it was Charcadet evolving in Armarouge makes more sense. Likely, Charcadet could have Flame Charge, Incinerate, and Fire Spin. Guess we'll find out soon enough, right? But yeah, I'm actually curious, because, I'm curious as to what Amethio has been doing over the last year. And he probably has his reasons for kind of, doing his own thing. But yeah. This is totally setting up another road down, or evolution. You mean evolution down the road, or? Oh no. A road down the line of the gang getting cursed and finding the last coins needed. Wow, I can't English. Episode, my mistake. Gotcha. I was kind of confused for a second. I was like, huh? I like that they're making Gimmighoul get coins over time, because that means later, once we get it caught, they'll need not very many, or maybe even no coins at all after. I think the Gimmighoul will evolve in an episode later on. I think that's what this is setting up for. Yeah, because it's slowly going to be gathering coins, and I'm just wondering when the kids are going to finally realize it's there, Because so far they don't seem to be aware of its presence. But this is the perfect opportunity for it to get coins, because it's got a bunch of people. So it's really reeling in the coins. Well, I can absolutely tell you what Amethio has been doing during this time skip. Okay, do tell. Amethio grew his hair out. Well, that usually happens when you don't cut it for a year. He does look like he's a bit taller, but we won't see that until he actually stands up. Then again, he's probably at the age where he's about to hit a major growth spurt. I mean, then again, Roy grew taller in the time skip. He's taller than Liko now, so there's that. He and his Pokemon have been training at the Jedi Temple against the younglings in preparation for Spinel's battle. Okay. He's going to use the Force. Defeat the Sith. So Spinel's a Sith Lord now, I guess? I like how all the Pokemon were struggling against Noodles. Rogue Trio kept using Triple Dive, where he gets a Gold Dango. What if they actually pull a surprise and ults the one that gets it? Might rub some people the wrong way, though. He would be Pokefan, but what are the chances Spinel foresaw that and then pulled an Anakin on the younglings? Oh. Oh, no. I know what you're referring to. Oh boy. Oh boy. That infamous scene from Revenge of the Sith. Theo is a teenager. Well, yeah, we know that. Sorry, bad joke, but I had to go for it. No, you're good. I'm just like, ooh, boy. Oh no. I'm recalling that Roy is gonna get himself a Goldango and immediately bail it because it has a better ghost. Because he has a better ghost and steel type. Oh boy. Uh-oh. The chance was there and low-hanging fruit was too tempting. I'm sorry. No, you're fine. I don't know if anybody else is too familiar with the Star Wars films, but I am very much, and I know exactly what scene you're referring to. I know the exact scene. I still remember when I saw that for the first time, and I was just, oh. He's not about to do what I think he's about to do. And then you skip over later, like, oh yeah, he absolutely did that. Yeah, that's the joke I was making with Amethio, with him just going all Anakin on the kids, but Spinel is better. So is Spinel the Emperor Palpatine? Goldango would have Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, Flash Cannon, and Hex. Maybe. Oh, sorry, Pokefan, I didn't mean to steal your thunder. I'm sorry. No, you're good. Master Skywalker, help us. Uh-oh. Rip. No, you're good. What do you think was going through George Lucas's mind when he made that scene? He's just like, alright, we're gonna do something that's gonna just shock everyone. And go, oh, they absolutely went there for that scene. How old is Amethio? Isn't he a teenager? Well, we don't know the kid's ages. They've never been stated, so the assumption is he's like maybe like 14 or 15. I was gonna say, looking at him now, based on like just him just sitting down there, it does look like he is definitely hitting his growth spurt. I'd say if he was 15 before, he's 16 now. He'd be like, so how can I show Anakin's complete fall to the dark side? Oh, I know, child M word that I can't say unstreamed. Otherwise YouTube will Danto snap me out of existence. Genius. Will you stream the Pokemon Direct? I cannot do the streamed. I can't stream it. I work. Ray had a growth spurt, the small one. Funny how Zork... Okay, sorry, Pokefan, I gotta do it. Funny how Zork was like a Quaxwell and a Tinkaton. Oh, purple hair girl must be a Nidothing fan. Lol. Too. Lol. Yeah, not really connecting the dots. Wow, 10-9 is actually winning the poll. You guys really like this episode? Don't boys hit their growth spurt from 14 to 15? For me, it was 13 to 14, but yeah. That's typical. 10-9 always wins. Yeah, some people, I guess, really like the episode, but I'm like, I don't think this episode was 10-9 worthy. I personally think it's 6-5, or if I'm really generous, 7 worthy. But I guess if you guys really like the episode enough to be like it's a 10 or 9, then I suppose. I ain't judging. Maybe a little. Of all the Pokemon I was expecting the anime to make look menacing, Wugtrio was not one I was expecting him to make look menacing, right? Yeah, I didn't really think anything of it when I was going in this episode, so I was just like, oh. You know, I had Wugtrio on my team for Scarlet, and I, in hindsight, didn't really care for it that much. So it's kind of surprising seeing it actually, you know, be good. Oh boy. Zirc's Rhydon has a thing for Nidothing. No pun intended. It's a little on the strange side, though. Didn't think they'd actually go for that angle. Wugtrio being menacing, and it's funny since it's supposed to be a mean mon, like winglet. Yeah. Yeah, Wiglet and Wugtrio is still one of the stranger new mons. It's like a variation of Diglett and Dugtrio. Oh yeah, no, I definitely ain't judging. I just found it funny. No matter what episode, we always have 9 or 10-9 win basically every stream. It wasn't always like that actually. Some of the other ratings sometimes won too, but for like a while now, like I'd say the last year, 10-9 is just always winning, and I'm like okay. I'm like, I don't think every episode is that strong. We got some episodes that I'd say are kind of on the lower end, but that's what you feel. That's what you feel. But hey, I like how right now it's 4 votes. Wait, we got 10 votes. 4 votes for 10-9 and 3 votes for the other 2. So interesting. Wugtrio feels like a comic relief type of Pokemon, and also the opposite of how good it is in the games. Because Wugtrio definitely not the best to use in the games. Yeah, I was gonna say I used it, and I definitely wasn't a fan. I know you know what's ironic. Wugtrio in the games is legit trash. It has some awful stats and move pool. Yeah, I regret using it. It's fast, but that's about it. Yep. I mean, it's weak in the games, but you have better water types like Azumarill and Pelipper. I do like the divergent approach they took to Pokemon. I think it's cool. There's Pokemon that are similar yet are different species. Yeah, I guess it's it kind of helps them out because as they keep going on with these Pokemon, as the games keep going, they're getting to the point where it's becoming a bit of a struggle coming up with all these Pokemon. So it's like, dang it. So we got to go back and kind of like look at older Pokemon and be like, okay, we got to do a variation, not the same Pokemon, but like a slight variation and name it a little different. There we go. I mean, heck, people by the time we got to Gen 5 were making fun of some of the fact that some of the Pokemon felt like they were running out of ideas then, but yeah. People think Wiglet is something inappropriate. Yeah, we'll not discuss that further though. I actually seen a video where someone used Wugtrio in only battles and made it destroy people, though the strategy he used was extremely gimmicky. Gotcha. Dugtrio is better and it has an arena trap ability. Random trap can be a blessing and a curse. Good when you use it, but not on the receiving end. Oof. Yikes. Just taking a little breather here to say, for those that are just joining, make sure you hit that like button. I would definitely appreciate it. And vote in the poll. Apparently 10-9 is winning, I guess. If that's how you feel about the episode. I'm still sticking with 6 for this one. I mean, any new thing for Steel and Dugong has to be an improvement creativity-wise, right? I mean, it's pretty much just a real-life animal. Hey, look, Harlster. You know what is even more, what's even more just like for a real-life animal? Flamigo. You know, Flamigo? Flamigo! It literally is just a Flamigo, and yeah, that one was probably one of the lamer new mons in Scarlet and Violet. I mean, I like Dewdong, but yeah, it is pretty much like a seal and then a bigger seal. But hey, look, guys, I got something better for you. Remember Dunsparce? How about we make it a bit longer and bigger and call it the Dunsparce? Get it? And then in Gen 10, get this, guys, the Dunsparce. It's even longer. It just keeps expanding. Especially huge powers are more on liquidation and play rough. Like Tentacruel is better than Toadacruel in the games, yeah. But Flamigo is my amigo. How can I dislike that, really? You skipped my comments. No, I didn't. Flamigo gets so much flack. It's honestly pretty good, and honestly does have more inspiration than people think. I don't know. I guess I disagree. I just kind of find the name kind of just lame, personally. It's better than Squawkabilly in the games. I see new divergent form from Grandpa. Oh. But we already got Grandpa, who happens to transform into All Might somehow at his advanced age. And become Mighty G. Dunsparce should have evolved into a cool snake dragon-like thing. I just don't think it should have evolved, period. Mainly it's based on a Guardian Flamigo and an inflatable pool Flamigo and a cannon. I see. You're right. Dunsparce should have got a Mega in X and Y. Yeah, and that pretty much what we got with the Dunsparce could have been just its Mega. Hi, Kelsey. I'm happy we will see a Methio. It makes its BST total like 2K. Merch. You know, there are scrap Pokemon designs from Gen 2. They should bring some of those back. I'm aware. Never saw Zirconia as evil. I hope I got her name right. A little off, but close enough. Konia. They weren't necessarily evil. They were grunts that were just doing what they were told. I kind of want to know why they joined the Explorers in the first place. Like, you know, the scrap Pokemon Kotora, the cute tiger Pokemon that would have been popular Pokemon if it was real. Probably. Maybe. Guessing my last message didn't go through, which is why I mentioned merch. Oh, gotcha. I was a little confused. I was like, I was trying to figure out what you were referring to. Probably just YouTube being YouTube. Just YouTube being YouTube, being weird shenanigans go on from time to time. Probably just paid to help Amethio until they actually grew to care about him. I guess so. That has to be the case. They're not part of Spinel's group anymore. Well, allegedly. And they were expecting some punishment for everything that went down, but Hamber's the one that assigned them and finding Amethio, so yeah. I kind of think Amethio has been living in his mansion last year. You think so? By the way, what's up, Kevin? Because I was going to say, I'm under the impression that he's been missing for a year. And Hamber doesn't know where he's at, so if he's not at the mansion, then he's not there. And hasn't been there in a while. Kidding, I doubt they'd go that route. Huh. Yeah, probably. Also, the ticket would have dissolved in the water. If it would have landed in the water, which, I mean, it probably should have. But, you know, this is, you know, Pokemon anime logic. So, it somehow floated above it and was fine. Completely intact. Speaking of Mighty G, hey, Mighty GX. Oh, X. I know what you're referring to. Just call it Twitter. Has recently mentioned him for some odd reason, and Palafin has been teasing new merch. Oh, is Mighty G coming back? Will you play more Donkey Kong Bonanza? I'll think about it. That's tomorrow's stream, Sharon. But I'm going on vacation this week, so I'm only going to be streaming through Tuesday. Oh, you have a point. I didn't know people were living in the mansion. I thought it was abandoned. I don't know if, like, Hamber's there, but he has to be staying there, at least nearby or something, because, like, you know, if they're looking for Amethio and he's missing, like, that'd be one place to check in on him, you know? And we go to the mansion in the episode, so... For a second there, Pokefan, I misread that Mighty GX, like as if he got his own Pokemon card for the TCG. Oh. I was wondering. I'm like GX. I was like, oh, he got a new. Did he somehow manage to last his buffed out form a little bit longer? Somehow got one for all to last him a bit longer. Get it? I think Mighty G would catch Palafin. Maybe. I don't know if YouTube censored Twitter or not. I don't think they would. I mean, it was kind of better when it was Twitter and not, X, where it's kind of just been, like, horrible for a while now. But that's a whole can of worms I'd be getting into if I were to go on whole thing about X and all the crap that goes on there. I haven't seen the backstory episode yet. Oh. I see. Honestly, if anyone would get Palafin, I honestly think it would be Liko, because she formed a deep bond with it. The beach, and Mighty G and Palafin seem to just be good friends. That's a good point. But we just had a capture for Liko. I think the next person that should get a capture probably should be Dot, but or even Alt. But who knows? But they might not, since Dot's considered a side character still. So she might be all set with her Pokemon. I wish he was in the card game. If he was, I might actually consider playing it. I'm not in the TCG nowadays, but I still think that'd be pretty cool. I wish. Yep, I already read that. I got the reference. Yep. I kind of would like to see Spinel and Hamber interact now in the time skip. I truly don't believe Hamber is his second in command. Yeah, I don't think Hamber really follows Spinel, so there's a fracture among those explorers. There's going to be Spinel's explorers and Metheo's explorers. Pelipper with Drizzle is better. Spinel probably doesn't know Hamber is betraying him yet, but is probably suspicious of him. He has to be, surely. Yeah, I would assume so, since he was loyal to Gibeon and, Metheo. Kelsey says, I'm glad we are getting a redemption arc for some of the explorers, but I hope they don't redeem all of them. I don't see Spinel being redeemed. He's the worst of them all. Agate, that might be a hard one too. Songo and Onyx, it's possible. But, we'll see. But Ametheo, Konya, Zirc getting kind of a redemption. Them, becoming good guys, I guess, if you want to, as generic as that sounds. I'm fine with them. Ametheo didn't even realize what his grandfather wanted. He was following his ambitions, but when he found out what exactly, he was planning what to do, he stood in his way. So, yeah. And then Liko even said that Ametheo didn't come off as, like, a villainous person, too, so. Ametheo, not being a bad guy anymore is, makes sense. I think Charcadet would be a rival to Cerulege, like how Ash's Rockruff was a rival to Gladion's Lycanroc. I see it. That could probably work. I think Agate is probably his appointed second in command, if anything, right? So I don't see her being redeemed, unless, like, he betrays her. Kind of random, but what's everyone's thoughts on Liko potentially getting a Mega? I'll be real, everyone says they want one, but my question is, does she need one? Well, she needs the Pokemon for it. She would need the Pokemon for, like, to be able to Mega Evolve, so we would need a Pokemon for her. That'd be the stipulation right there. So I'm, at the moment, I say no. I think right now it's Roy and Alt are the ones that are going to Mega Evolve, but we'll see. It'd be cool if, like, you know, it's probably not going to happen. But, like, Heterum, maybe when it fully evolves, can, like, you know, Dynamax or whatever. But I highly doubt they're going to do that in this series. We went to Galar and there was no signs of Dynamaxing Pokemon, so yeah, it's not happening. And then at this point in the series, we're kind of getting late into it. If the series is only like another like 40-ish episodes left, 40, 50 episodes left, I don't know if that's enough time to bring another gimmick into the series. I don't want her to get Palafin for the main reason that it could be ball bound, almost like Misty's Horsia. Oh, I don't know. I don't expect it to be completely ball bound, but you know, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. But again, she just got a new Pokemon, so I don't really see her getting another one so soon. I love redemption arcs, but you can have too much of a good... But you can't have too much... You mean you can't have too much of a good thing, I think is what you meant to say. The ones I don't see being redeemed at the moment is Spinel and Agate. Maybe Songo, but as on brand of her character, it's 50-50. You don't 100% know for sure what you're going to get with her, right? She is kind of a loose cannon, though, so kind of hard to see her becoming good. She's already like a little gremlin brat, so it's hard to see her just suddenly becoming a good person, you know. I'm really praying Amethio moves Coral and Songo. Oh yeah, Songo and Onyx back to his side. We'll have to see what happens. Honestly, I think she doesn't. Roy and Alt can be the Mega users, and Liko and Dot can be the Terra users. Her getting the Mega feels just forcing for nothing more than ZA promotion, which I think they're already doing with Roy and Alt having Megas in the first place. In the preview for next week's episode, Charcadet is looking at the picture of young Amethio and his Charcadet. I know. I am hoping Screamtail shows up this arc. I really want Onyx Aerodactyl to Mega. At the moment, I just don't see that happening, though. It would mean that he somehow got a Mega off-screen, but who knows. I feel like Armarouge would have Armor Cannon, Mystical Fire, Expanding Force, and Flare Blitz. I still don't think he knows enough about Alt. You mean we don't know enough about Alt? Is that what you meant? We still don't know about that Pokemon that apparently he's trying to get approval of. I wonder what it is. Speaking of Songo, I really hope we see Demon Pudding Screamtail again. Yeah, we only got them in that one episode, so they're not really a focal point in this episode, or this arc, excuse me. But hopefully when they do show back up, maybe it'll make an appearance. I feel like as we're getting closer to the end of this arc, we'll probably have a little crash out with the Explorers. Leading into our arc number 6. You think Amethio will move Coral inside, or Songo and Onyx to his side? I don't know. He needs a Megastone, big deal. He needs a Megastone, big deal, huh? It's also interesting he has an Aerodactyl. Like, it's not the craziest Pokemon in the world, but it's definitely a Pokemon we don't see many people have. And he doesn't really utilize it a ton either, just to kind of fly away. Mostly Coral has a Keystone? You mean most likely? How so? You know, I've seen multiple people talking about this, so I thought I'd share it. Quite a few people think the Explorers won't get Megas because they technically already have their own gimmick and Strong Spheres. You know, that is a good point, because the Strong Spheres are going to be something they're going to be utilizing. Though I think the emphasis is going to be like the effect it has on their Pokemon. Maybe Songo and Onix realize that the Strong Spheres are a problem. Maybe that's what starts to wake them up and maybe get them against Spinel. Hold on, I need a water, guys. There we go. Much better. Plus they sworn to have damaged their bond with their Pokemon, which is key point for Megas. You know, that is a good point. That actually is a good point, Pokefan. Yeah, because the Strong Spheres actually sever their bond with between trainer and Pokemon, so that is a good point. I feel like the Explorers won't get Megas because their little gimmick is the Strong Spheres. Like, it'd be weird if they suddenly stopped promoting what they manufactured to use Mega Evolution instead. At least for right now, yeah. Until Strong Spheres get exposed. Demon Pudding needs to have Misty Terrain and Misty Explosion. Most likely she has Glalie and her design is based on it. The only thing is we haven't seen it unless she got it during the 1 year time skip. No, she absolutely does. We need Exploding Demon Pudding. Like, it'd be a counterproductive for their promotion of the product, and that's marketing 101, right? Yeah, true. Seam. Oh, you're good. You're good. You think Strong Spheres would become a thing in the games? No. No, this is going to be something that's exclusive to the anime. Unless for some reason they decide to put it in Gen 10, but I highly doubt that. Do you want Coral or Songo to be redeemed? I don't know. She's one of those characters that, like, she's kind of set in her ways, so I don't know. It'd be hard for her to, like, you know, change over to a good person, is what I see. Dude, why is everyone voting 10-9? I'm sorry, but really? I see your point. They already have Strong Sphere and Terra Orbs, but he's never used it on Aerodactyl. Damage the bond with the trainer. It damages the bond with the trainer. I see. It's just that, like, yeah, again, he doesn't use Aerodactyl. Like, it's just... I don't know. That is one thing that does bother me in this series. Like, we have the Methio with Corviknight, and he, like, hardly uses that except to kind of just fly away and stuff. They're just they're gimmicked. They're gimmicky, but they're just using those Pokemon because they have HMs to use fly. We're stuck in the previous gens. Spinel's so evil. Probably not, Sharon. If they did, it definitely wouldn't be a gimmick. The player could use the whole point of it is it goes against the message of having a strong bond with your Pokemon. I agree. I thought it was a good filler episode, except it's not a filler episode. I mean, this episode is technically a canon episode since it leads into the next episode with us running into Metheo. So, and also they have to raise funds for the Rise and Volt tacklers. So, in order to be able to, continue going around the world. So, yeah, it's not filler. People think Recurium Strong Spheres, or at least a variation of it, are in ZA because the last trailer we saw the player and their Pokemon facing something with glowing pink aura. Oh, really? Maybe the Direct will show more information on that. That's in 2 days. I think Horizons would show the new Zygarde forms from ZA. I don't know. He does, just not for battle, just to fly away, yep. I think they are giving 10-9 as a joke. You think so? Do I need to actually stop doing the polls? If that's the case. I like doing the polls, but like... like 10-9, like winning in this... Like, I'm not trying to be judgmental or anything, but like... This is not an episode that I would say is like, because like 10-9, I'm sorry just to kind of distract here, but like 10-9 is like, it's like a great episode, like among the best in the series, and it's up there or whatever. Like if it's a good episode, then yeah, vote like that, but like this ain't it. It's not a bad episode by any means, but it's not like perfect or amazing. So that's why I'd say like 6 or 7 is like an appropriate rating for this one. But you do you, I guess. Shiwei earlier in the dub part of the Explorers is to do whatever she wants. I think Coral Songo just doesn't know how to make friends and think Leiko will help her with that. You know, it'd be nice if we got like a backstory for Songo or something like that, and kind of know why she, like that's the thing is like that's the thing I wanted is like I wanted like a backstory for the characters. Like Ametheo, we got that. We know why he's in the Explorers. He's Gibeon's grandson. Spinel, we know why he's there. He was a researcher at Exceed and stuff like that. But for the other characters, we don't really know why they joined. Like what's their reason for joining the Explorers? I kind of wish the series would explore that. Oh, hello, I'm getting an error message from YouTube. If you guys can't hear me, let me know. Hopefully the stream doesn't get disrupted. I think Ametheo cares about Corviknight, mainly transport. It's transport but does battle. Not all Pokemon are battlers, but these secondary mons are just straight up ball bound, which agitates me. That's like the one problem with this series, is that like outside of like the first Pokemon the characters have, like their secondary mons have not gotten the best treatment. It's a little bit better in this arc, but like yeah, Kilowattrel still gets disrespected. That's why I'm like a little bit hopeful that Char could at least get some good moments. We're already getting some development for it already in the next episode. Do you give it a 6 or 7 out of 10? 6. I already said that back at the end of the summary portion of the stream earlier on. Also, I feel like just using Pokemon as travel is kind of lazy on the writer's part. That's like my one problem is like, hey, it's like Onyx has a freaking Aerodactyl and he doesn't, like, use it to battle? Like, really? Like, Agach, Zoxja. Creepy Bird, Lulo, Sharpedo. Gotten the worst treatment. No debate. I know what you're talking about, Kevin. The spelling was just throwing me off a little bit. Birdmon from Gen 2. Bird Psychic. And its only use, teleport away. Which means they're gonna have to defeat it, and then she's trapped, and that's how she gets caught in the end. Yo, what's up, Beast Mode God? Good episode. Gotcha. Alright, I'll do this one more time for the stream. If you're someone that's here, if you haven't already, could you do me a favor and hit that like button? We're at 8 likes. We only need 2 more to 10. Can we do it? Can we get the 10 likes before the stream ends, guys? And remember to vote in the poll. Apparently 10-9 is winning this poll by like an overwhelming amount of votes at this point. 8-7 is literally in a distant second with 20% of the votes, which is about 4 votes, and then 6-5 has 3 votes, and nobody voted lower than 5. Corviknight is a strong mon, yet it's not utilized enough. Hey, look, it's Thomas. What's up? I saw your message for a split second, but you removed it, so whenever you repost it, I will read it. Hey, look, another Pokemon remix. Lulu's Sharpedo is just as bad. It doesn't even get to swim often. Over 50 episodes at times. Yep. It only appears when it's needed. At least Spinel uses all his mons. Umbreon, BM, and Magnezone. Yeah, he utilizes them all, like, very well, honestly. Like, out of all the characters, he probably utilizes all his mons the best. They at least, each one of them serves a certain purpose. At least Spinel uses all. Yep. I already read that. Another YouTuber says that don't want Freed to be alive because it would throw away character development, as it would be like bringing Jiraiya back, he says. Who would that be? Okay, my only problem knowing that Freed's alive is that I feel like it happened sooner than it should have. Like, it's nice, and I had a feeling he was alive or doing something in the background, but I feel like the reveal should have happened a lot later on. I think one of my main, like, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? I wouldn't say grievance, but, like, I'd say one of my nitpicks, One of my nitpicks with this arc is that I feel like things are kind of happening a little too fast. Like, Terapagos, they're like, oh, it's sleeping in its ball. It's been like that for a year. and only 3 episodes in, it's awake. Really? And Liko and Roy reunited pretty quickly, which I don't think that's an issue so much, but it feels like things are happening like a lot faster than it should be, personally. Like, we know Freed's alive. We're running into Methio a lot sooner than I was expecting. Like, the way things are going, it feels like we're kind of like running through it a lot faster than personally I would like. We also ran into Rayquaza a lot sooner than I was expecting as well, so. Which feels like they're trying to kind of wrap things up with this arc a lot faster than I was expecting. Like, I don't know. I was expecting things to be a little bit more mysterious and kind of figuring things out a lot later on, but I guess so. The fact that Zirc knows that Dot is Nidothing cements that they are allies. You mean they are allies with the Rising Bolt Tacklers moving forward? Yeah. Pretty much. That kind of shattered his whole worldview, but they don't have any reason to be like quarreling with them at this point, since they're following the Methio and not Spinel. In the beginning of Horizons, during the Bolivia Forest, Molly had no idea Ludlow and had Quagsire, had no idea what Pokemon that was. Probably just doesn't interact with the old man a whole lot to know that. I thought you were a Naruto fan. I thought you were a Naruto fan? That's his master. I know. I'm a Naruto fan, Kelsey. Did I say something that made it sound like I was, like, against the series or something? All I was just saying was, Freed, I felt like Freed being alive happened a little bit too soon. I guess I'm a little confused. Orla Elekid has basically done nothing, right? Well, it's an Elekid, so what are you expecting it to do? Zirconia's Skarmory have basically done nothing. Yep, they just been used to fly around. Wrong, it's just a baby being cute. Orla's Metagross has literally only used one move. Yeah, Orla's not okay. I will say certain characters like Murdoch and Molly and Orla, I'm not expecting them to be very battle savvy. We kind of learned very early on that they aren't really that skilled as battlers. They were losing pretty easily to Methio, if I remember correctly. Freed was the only one that could really like stand up to Methio from the crew back then. The kids really are the battlers now. Out of the Rising Bolt Tacklers, not including the kids, Freed has used all of his Pokemon the most. Yeah. And he has 2 Pokemon. And he's separated from one right now. Okay, guys, we are about an hour and 15 minutes into the stream, roughly, at this point, or at least close to an hour and 15 minutes. What else you guys got for me today? Also, thank you for getting us to 10 likes. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. Would you have wanted them to bring Jiraiya back or no? No. I think it's a good thing that Jiraiya didn't come back during the Great the Fourth Great Ninja War. And we're not really counting Kashin Koji as Jiraiya since he's a clone. So he's almost like his own character at this point. Hope we get to see Amethio and his dad reunite. Amethio looks like his mom with the new look. That's what people have been saying. Maybe. I don't see, like... Him and his dad don't have that much of a connection, though, since he mainly was raised by his butler. But yeah. I think Charcadet will evolve into a couple... You mean, will evolve in a couple months? Is that what you mean? Guess we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, what else you got for me today? He is looking for him. That's something. For his dad. The dad's looking for him? I guess he is retired, so not much else to do now. Maybe finally he wants to actually, like, be his actual dad and not, you know, distant father who's busy being CEO, president of a company. Nice stream, got nothing more to say, gotcha. We're getting ready to wrap things up, so... Does anyone have anything else before we wrap things up today? I wish he didn't have to wait. We didn't have to wait 2 weeks for the next episode. We do need to have breaks here and there. It gives the animators and the show as a whole a little bit of a breather. That way we aren't running into constant issues and the quality decreases. There also might be something airing at the time that the episode would normally air, and that's why it's not airing. I'll take it. It's a little bit of a summer break for me. Anyways, anything else, guys? Anything at all? If not, I think we can go ahead and bring this stream to a close. It's been a fun one. We won't be having another stream until next month, but yeah. There is going to be a week next month where I'm probably going to be low on activity. as I'm going to be gone, I think, the second weekend in August, and then following that I'm going to be dog sitting, so I won't have any time to really do anything, streams or like videos or whatnot. Might be able to utilize that time for shorts though. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and bring this stream to a close. We're going to end the poll. Somehow 10-9 won this one. So I'm going to have to disagree with the poll for the first time and say this episode is a 6 in my opinion, and that's where my rating is staying for this one. So yeah, sorry. I know. Seems like some people really like the episode, but my feelings is it's not. This was one of the weaker episodes this arc. Even though Zirc got some actual focus and character in this one, still kind of a weak episode. Weaker episode overall than a lot of the more recent ones. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for today's stream. This week is going to be a little bit also kind of low on content because I'll be streaming Donkey Kong the next 2 days, but the rest of the week there will be no streams. I might see if I can squeeze in Donkey Kong over the weekend sometime, maybe Sunday night, next Sunday, because I am going out of town and won't be back until Saturday sometime. So yeah. Anyways, guys, if there's nothing else, we're going to bring the stream to a close. So, yep, if you're still here, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you're at. And I will see you all later. Bye.